All good.
Roll them.
What's Bones wearing today? You got anything on?
Well, yeah.
We'll
start with that. You want to say something about Bones?
We would just say hello, Bones. Let's not forget Mr. Bones or something. I don't know. Okay. You ready?
Yep.
5, 4, 3. My threes are always a little higher because by 3 I need to take a breath. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, friends. Welcome back once again to the Jersey Alchemist. I'm your host, Dr. John Gerard Gallucci.
And I'm Philip D'Angelo.
What's going on today, brother?
Nothing, John. Have you ever heard of the expression, "It's a dog's life"?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, so what is that? What's the connotation there? What is that supposed to mean? Like it's a tough life?
I think that's what they mean.
Yeah. Okay.
I think.
Well, let me tell you something. I rescued a dog. Okay, so I call it the free dog.
Like in the river, it was like drowning.
No, from the shelter. Yeah. From the shelter. I would have.
You tore your clothes off in the winter. You
Yeah.
crawled out onto the ice.
There I was. Yeah, shimmied out into the ice. But I'll tell you what. And I'm an animal lover. I've had dogs my whole life, and this dog. I wanted to call him Freebie or something because he was for free. And there's nothing about this dog that's free. Okay, $5,000 for a white picket fence, so the free dog couldn't escape. Okay.
That white picket fence holds the dog back?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The new technology, it's made out of some aluminum or something.
Oh, okay, all right.
So, and now, recently, the free dog, Freebie, a $3,000 knee surgery. John, let me just say, my knees have hurt me for 20 years. And there's no way I'm getting knee surgery because, times are tough and I have to walk. But yet, Freebie...
You want the advice of a physician and your friend?
I mean, yeah,
Phil?
I'm unloading here.
Stay off your knees, bud.
I could have used that 20 years ago. Very well said. But yeah, so these dogs. So now I have a dog in the house, Freebie, and my girlfriend, who is an animal lover, squared on steroids to the nth degree. Put it this way. If we were all in a canoe, the dog, my girlfriend, and me, and the canoe tipped. Oh no, there's no question.
Right.
The canoe tipped over in the Delaware River, in the rapids, which has happened to me.
The Delaware River.
As I'm going right into a rock that's going to cut open my foot. All right, that she would reach if she got back in the boat. She's reaching for Freebie. She's reaching for Freebie dog.
Well, that's because she knows you're a good swimmer.
I'm not that good. I'm not that good. She might be pushing me down with the paddle. But my point, it's just amazing to me because, she's such a dog lover. So this poor dog had knee surgery. He's only 2 years old, right? Shepherd mix, which is unusual. And she's massaging the leg. She's ice packing the leg. She's hand feeding the dog. This woman is unbelievable, right? And
But dogs apparently are not supposed to have grapes. So I just immediately pictured her feeding the dog grapes.
No grapes, no little dog food pellets. It's just amazing that, and I don't know if this is a little, I'm not jealous, but I'm like, wow, that dog's, I've been injured a few times in our relationship and I was like, toughen up, suck it up, get up and move. There's work to be done. No compassion. Yet this beautiful animal is unleashing a compassionate side that I haven't seen in a long time.
Well, it sounds like these are motherly instincts coming out of her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I guess.
A dog is helpless. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and she's trying to
strengthen the dog.
Strengthen the dog.
Wonderful woman, above and beyond what she's treating this animal. But you know what? Sometimes humans could use a little TLC too, if you know what I mean.
Am I detecting a little rivalry, a little jealousy?
No jealousy, but I'm just saying it's there. It's like, wow, it's like this injury on this animal has awakened like a compassionate side. Women can be tough now and then. Maybe you're not aware of that.
I live with 2 dogs.
Oh,
Sen's a female, just 2 dogs.
yeah.
Are you? Does the dog sleep in a bed?
No, no, no.
Yeah, no.
Not yet.
My dogs want to sleep in my bed, but there's no way. One is a husky, one is a wolf husky hybrid, and talk about shedding. And look, they romp around in a big, huge yard that's double fenced in, at their own behest. We're constantly pulling ticks off of the dogs.
Oh,
now,
ticks are
if you
everywhere.
say to me, "Get your yard sprayed, Doc," you come up to speed. I'm not gonna. I told my landscaper because I don't I don't have a lawnmower. When I was a younger guy, I did. I actually miss cutting the grass. That's a different story. I said, no, don't you spray my backyard. Front yard, you can do whatever you want. You can put fertilizer, weed killer, you can spray for the ticks, but don't put anything that's a chemical in my backyard because you will poison my dog's asses. And he doesn't. That's it. So the dogs and the backyard are natural. It's an organic backyard, and I do have a large garden, and the garden's organic too.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, I know how much you care for your dogs.
But I don't want, every once in a while, and I do use the front line on them, and they're so smart. It's like the cat that hears the can opener and it comes flying out. You don't know where the cat is for 3 days. That can opener goes, boom, the cat's on the counter. My dogs, all I have to do is reach up on a top shelf in my kitchen and pull down some of those snap-off frontline anti-tick things. They know the sound, they see what I'm doing, and pew, both are like nowhere to be found. I got to chase them all over the house. I do. It's comical. It really is.
Dogs are extremely smart and great companions. They
Yep.
really are. Even if they cost you $3,000 for a knee surgery.
Yeah.
John, talk to me about bones today.
You were reading my mind.
Wow.
All right. Let's just keep it down a little bit because, I think we hit a psychological soft spot on Bones' skull.
Mm.
He's got a soft spot. Like, I think his fontanelle hasn't closed yet still. But, just yesterday, he was expressing to me that sometimes he wears the chief of police hat, then he wears the Harley biker's hat. But really, this is about him losing his hair. It's about his alopecia. That's the topic of the day, isn't it? Right? It's about his alopecia.
Don't make a joke.
So today I walk in here, and he's got a full head of hair. He's got like Lily Munster hair. And I said, Bones, the wig again? And he was offended. He says, what wig? I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Oh boy. Yeah. As long as HR doesn't call us like the day before, then it's not a problem.
HR. Okay.
John, talking about the day before, on yesterday's podcast, you brought up about an incident with your car and a biker. The bike, you hit the lady.
Oh, no, I didn't hit.
Almost did.
People say biker, and I think of you, Phil.
Motorcycle.
Yeah, I think of motorcycle.
Okay. Pedaling, the Schwinn. She was on the Schwinn. Remember that?
Yeah.
And talk about cars. I hope you didn't use too much gas to accelerate into the parking lot. Have you seen the price of gas lately?
I don't know what he was going to say.
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't been going anywhere really other than my house, the supermarket, and here. And it's all, it's a 6 mile run, 6 miles back. It's 12 miles, maybe 2 or 3 days a week. So I've been conserving. Why? What's the price of gas today?
We're in the fours. Nationally, the average price is well into the fours. Diesel is like another $1 added on top of that.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Have you used diesel?
No.
I thought diesel was cheaper. It's not?
A long time ago it was, but now it's not. Yeah.
Shows you what I don't know.
And feel sorry for those truckers that have to use diesel every day.
Right.
But so what's the end game here? I mean, I don't understand where we're going for a country that was energy independent 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
To all of a sudden now, it's caused a tremendous amount of inflation.
Yeah.
Our products that are shipped via that trucking. Mm-hmm. Shipping, they all need gas, they all need oil.
Right.
It's through the roof. All our products. Have you been shopping? Well, you said you went to the store.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable how the price of everything, how much everything's cost.
Yeah.
What's the end game here? I don't understand.
Everything's up. As a matter of fact, I saw a packet. I saw a packet of chicken breast in the meat section on a styrofoam platter. We already talked about that.
Disgraceful.
Styrofoam causes cancer. Wrapped in, maybe it's acrylamide or acrylamide, or maybe it's, I don't know what. And, you know, 3 fairly large chicken breasts used to be like $9. I think it was $16 yesterday. And I thought, wow, $16. That's, you know, ay, ay, ay.
I, I'm speechless. I'm at a loss for words, which rarely happens. I cannot believe that going from energy independent, we have states that have so many restrictions on them now. They can't drill for oil. They can't do the natural clean gas that was so huge and all through Pennsylvania and other states. So what are we doing here? What direction are we headed? I don't understand how anybody in a position of power can't say, well, we were energy independent 2 years ago. We need to go back to energy independence that'll lower our prices. We can help our fellow countries, NATO, other countries around the world from getting gas. We can help all their prices. We can help the world, which is what the United States always did.
From whose viewpoint are you speaking, Philip?
I will be speaking for John Q. Public,
Well,
the average person.
But that's the whole point. You're speaking as if politicians were elected by the people for the people. You're speaking as if people who go to Washington have transparency about them. You're speaking nonsensibly. Now, I say that because, of course, you're right on the money. God bless. But what politician do you know isn't corrupt? There's only one person that I have on my mind that I would think maybe hasn't been corrupted yet. I'm going to say the person's name. Tulsi Gabbard. Go, Tulsi, go, 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 Tulsi, go, go.
I'm a big fan of hers.
I love Tulsi Gabbard, and I do. And, you know, I donated to her campaign. I knew she wasn't going anywhere. You know why? Because she was too damned real for the DNC. The same DNC that put Brandon in the White House. The same DNC where at least 3 of the headliners have kids that work for energy companies in the Ukraine. Seriously? I mean, I like to say, what's it all about, Alfie? Come on. So, you know, when you raise a question like, you know, who in their right mind would be doing what Brandon is doing right now? They're not in their right mind. These people are puppets of a greater power, you know, and they're not for us. They're not for anything that's sensible, like you were talking about. Absolutely not. They're all corrupt and they have hidden agendas, period.
I need somebody to tell me in a powerful position, somebody in the know, to explain what the benefit is for buying fuel oil from other countries instead of producing it here. Because we are the cleanest producer of fuel. We are up to standards.
Okay. Let me say this. Without dredging up any other clandestine dark agendas, which at that point regarding this industry, it would be pure speculation on my part. I know it sounds like I speculate all the time. And I shoot from the hip and I just blah, 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 blah. But case in point, a line from the Honeymooners. One hand washes the other, and both hands wash the face. Okay?
Well said.
So, a long time ago, when I became horrifically allergic to dairy products, my kids will go, Dad, we don't have any more popcorn. So when you go to the store, buy us some popcorn. Okay. So I'm doing the shopping, pushing the cart up and down the aisles, and I come upon the popcorn aisle. And it's almost as bad as the toothpaste aisle. It's just rows and rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of popcorn. God knows how many different brands, and within each brand, how many different flavors and styles. But I noticed one thing because I had to scrutinize the labels and the ingredients, because if I ate something with dairy in it, I'd be on the ground in the fetal position, sweating it out with horrible abdominal pains. So I said, surely there's got to be popcorn out there that is dairy free. Why would there be dairy in fucking popcorn? Dairy isn't eggs, by the way, but I was allergic to eggs at that point. Dairy is from a cow or a goat, okay? So pick up any of the popular brands, and it's this, that, and it's the other thing on the ingredients, and it's milk. It's milk. Who puts milk in popcorn? And the answer is the corn growers are helping out the dairy farmers, and the dairy farmers are buying the cull crops from the zucchini farmers or whoever the hell they are, and glyphosate's being poured all over all of it, and the animals eat the glyphosate, and that's why there's glyphosate, which is Roundup, in gelatin, it's in milk, it's in anything that comes from a cow.
Don't ask me where you were going.
Yeah, I'm on the farm somewhere.
I'm on the farm
I
somewhere.
am. I'm on the farm
But John,
somewhere.
the prices, I mean, are through the roof now. Now it's starting to affect everybody. Now, our gas tanks, our shopping with food. What is and we produce in this nation, we were energy independent.
Right. So the point is, because it always comes back to me after I get lost in the woods on the farm. Okay. The point is, oh my God, I forgot again. No, I have it. The point is that one hand washes the other and both hands wash the face, but you're dirty in the curb. Okay. So the elites that are running the world are lining their own pockets, and they're in collusion with one another across different industries. Of course they are. Of course they are. And they're colluding against us. And who are we? We're the market. We are the market. And they want to make us sick, and they want to get us hooked on big pharma drugs, and then the ultimate big pharma drug, God forbid, is their bullshit chemotherapy. Now, okay, so a lot of people are going to say, hey, chemotherapy saved my ass. I understand that. I'm a physician. But you know something? I still think there's a better way than poisoning somebody's system and knocking out their immune system to get rid of cancer. And I say there's a cure for cancer that's been out there for decades. And like George Carlin says again, there's a big club out there and you ain't in it. So we are not allowed to know where the cures lie. You know something? Why does David Rockefeller, rest his soul, how many heart transplants did he get? 3? And he lived to be 101? And apparently he never had cancer, but now cancer is, I think it's 1 in every 2 people. So what are they doing? What are they doing that they don't get colon cancer? I don't know. They're doing something. They're a bunch of lying sacks of shit. How's that for me tooling up my Jersey ease? So the industries are colluding with each other. The point is they're helping each other out. It's the only explanation I could fathom about why, when you go to the popcorn aisle and you look at the ingredients, you see that there's milk. There was milk in every single box of popcorn except for one. It was the generic, ShopRite brand of popcorn, and it didn't have milk in it. Or if it did, it didn't label it, so it probably wasn't in there. So that's what I was stuck with. It's crazy.
Wow, that is crazy. Getting back to the gas and the economy, the pricing. I mean, I heard somebody on TV in Power talk about electric cars.
Sure.
I mean, is that where this is all leading? Make us suffer and use that as an option?
Well, I think it's gonna. You know what happens is it's just like mitigating the curve, right? Lockdowns were to mitigate the curve to save the healthcare system and hospital from being overwhelmed by inpatient COVID patients, right? So, what's electric vehicles all about? Is it mitigating the parts per billion in the atmosphere of CO2? Remember something, folks. All of the green plant life that we depend on, that takes carbon dioxide and takes it in and sucks it out of the atmosphere, and so does the ocean, and then gives forth and gives back oxygen for us. Life is a give and take. There's one hand washes the other, and both hands wash the face. Um, so it's not a good thing if we try to drive the carbon dioxide levels down to zero. And if these fat cat elites really meant what they said, they wouldn't be tooling around in private jets. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. So the oil companies are in collusion with other industries because there's billions and billions and billions of dollars to be made, especially when your kids are working for energy companies overseas. And you better bet your ass they're no-show jobs. You know something? I had a friend of mine years ago, back in the late 70s, whose grandfather was one of these connected guys, local tomato gangster thing. And he had a job with the Essex County Mosquito Commission. Ha! But I love going on down other rabbit holes. They're fun. Do you guys know what a mosquito commission is? Huh? Well, in the summertime, in the fall and the summer, there would be things like, movies in the park on a Saturday night, or, late softball events, barbecues. Meanwhile, people are getting exsanguinated by mosquitoes. So they would come by with a little yellow Jeep with a canister of DDT or some other horrid, cancer-causing pesticide, and they would circle the park, and the entire park would be shrouded in this massive cloud. They would go down the exit, up the entrance, back around, killing, I don't know, millions of mosquitoes. And you know what we did as small kids? Look, here comes the mosquito truck. You ready? And everybody would go running, and we would run behind the mosquito truck so we could run in the cloud.
Wow.
So maybe that's what happened to me. I don't know. I got indelibly poisoned. But
I know for a fact, John, that the county used to distribute that chemical from a helicopter.
probably because it was
I know for a fact.
too dangerous.
I know the guy who used to do it too.
Right.
Yeah.
So the point is, getting back to the top level officials that are guiding this country, that are controlling and guiding the free world. Their kids have no-show jobs overseas in the energy industry, just like Grandpa so-and-so had a no-show job as the director of the Essex County Mosquito Commission. Give me an effing break.
Okay, so if we're gonna go to
Is the commission still around?
I'm sure it is. Absolutely. We could be in a little bit of trouble here, but yeah, because the county's still there. So the electric car industry needs batteries, needs new equipment, needs charging stations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure, I know batteries, there's a country that produces 90% of the batteries in the world. Do you know what country that is?
Something's telling me it's going to be the Ukraine.
No, China.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Good guess. That would have been a good guess, though.
Right.
No, China. China they produce 90% of the batteries needed for the world. Yeah. So is that where this is headed? Are the powers that be leaning to help our? You have to say China's our competitor.
Well, China is tagged to be the next superpower, and I think once again I think we mentioned
Absolutely.
on a previous episode that the World Economic Forum. Well, there's that Klaus Kripo guy again.
Mm.
Um, if you look at their data and their history, the Netherlands was the first modern day financial power. Yeah, the Netherlands. Who would have guessed? But they were. And I had said that that's why along the Hudson River you see these unbelievable stone sculptured, palaces and mansions. And they were built by the early settlers that settled New York City, the people that made Wall Street, that kind of thing. Yeah, they were all either Dutch or from the Netherlands. Yeah. And then it was the Brits. Now, the Brits were a world global superpower before that because wherever the Brits went, all through Southeast Asia, India, as they were bringing, trinkets and accoutrements to the people of that country, they were raising the British flag above their head. Who are you all kidding? And then after the British Empire faltered, which was World War II, the United States took the seat as the one superpower, and its currency, the U.S. dollar, became the world currency reserve. Well, guess who's slated to be the next superpower? It's China. It's China, and that's why I think a lot of our politicians behind our backs have been outsourcing all sorts of goods and services to China. China. Right.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, it seems to be. I can't believe people on our side, on our side. I don't know if that from the United States of America, that I can't believe that there's like another. I mean, I can believe it, but it's so unbelievable that the agenda is not to help this country. It's not to make America great again.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's about bringing about the New World Order. And when the New World Order is fully implemented, we will own nothing and be happy.
Hmm.
That's right out of the mouths of Klaus Shithead from the World Economic Forum. Get that around your heads, people. You will own nothing and be happy. So, guess what? Human nature is that if you strive for something and you have the free will to strive for what's in your heart, and you go to school, or you go to a trade school, or you take over a family business, or you're a farmer, whatever you do, and you scrape and you scrimp and you save your money and you buy your first house. Maybe it's a little Cape Cod. God bless. That's your piece of land. That's your castle, right? Well, they're telling you you will never, ever, 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 ever again own anything. Wow. Wow.
Hmm. John, like you've said in previous episodes, it's amazing how brazen and how out there they are with all of this. I mean, it's like they can't hold back anymore. They have the agenda and they're just putting it out there. This is who we're going to help. This is the direction we're going. This is what we're going to implement. We're going to change everything from soup to nuts. The world you grew up in ain't going to be the world that you're going to live in when we're through with you.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
I mean, and there's nobody questioning anything. I mean, I'm tired of
Well,
hearing.
but if you do question, Twitter takes you down. YouTube censors you. I said it the other day. I know Jack Dorsey is not the president and CEO of Twitter anymore. I don't even know if he still owns shares in it. But you know something? He should be in jail. He should be in jail for censorship, because every time I see someone censored, and my book has been censored, make no mistake about it, because they didn't want me to tell a story, an amazingly supernatural spiritual story. It offended them. So they said, if you leave this segment in that book, we will not publish your book. Well, in the words of, was his name Frank Slade, in Scent of a Woman, Al Pacino?
Yes.
Well, publishers, Twitter, well, fuck you too. I love that line.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Al Pacino. But John, there's nobody. Like, where are our heroes? Where is the person? Where's, we talk about Saint Michael, the archangel, the warrior angel. I mean, there's people that have lip service out there. Yeah. They're talking the talk, but they're not walking the walk. They're letting this country just slip and slide into right off the cliff into the ocean. I mean, and there's nobody that's stopping them.
Well, the ones that are directly benefiting, they're the worst of the worst. But I don't know whether that's really worse than the gaggle of goons that are not me, boss, not me, boss, not me, boss, not me, boss. In other words, nobody wants to step up and be singled out, because if you step up and you're singled out, you get your head cut off, or it's whack-a-mole. Let me say something about the F word the F bomb I just tossed. Yeah, see how I get serious? I kind of come closer to the mic. I kind of put my hands in front of me, little body language.
It's a good look.
You've heard nothing yet. Nothing from me. A long time ago, before I went to med school, my father's cousin was the head of the bartenders at a big hotel chain. He was a detective. He was this, he was that, he was a lot of things. And nobody could toss an F-bomb like him. And after working a couple of years with him as a bartender, I came out a seasoned, certified F-bomb instructor, right? Some people become Navy SEALs, and some are then they become instructors if they're really, really tough, really good. Well, I'm an F-bomb instructor now. Now, those of you who are a little bit timid and a little bit reverent to the Holy Spirit and to the angels and saints, you're scourging me right now, because I just F-bombed in the presence of a facsimile of Archangel Michael.
It's not good.
I would say to you this: I am but a mere mortal. I am a mortal, and I am a flawed, imperfect man. And you know something? If Jesus could say, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do," I would tell you, one of the places you need to begin, they say charity begins at home. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for your imperfections and for your dark side. We all have a dark side. I have a dark side. And there's something about me. I don't think in my entire life that I was here with my father, I never heard him say the F word. Ever, not once. Never did. I guess I made up for him. We're even Steven now. But I'm imperfect. Don't expect the guy that wrote a book full of true stories, and the title of the book is My Life with God, a pediatric surgeon's supernatural journey while healing sick children. Don't think that I'm a marshmallow. Don't think that I'm a goody two-shoes and I don't know how to throw an F-bomb. There are very few people that walk this earth that can throw an F-bomb like me, because I learned from the best, and it comes from within. So, apologies. I forgive myself. I'm not excusing myself. I forgive myself.
You went to your own confession right there.
I did.
That was it. That was impressive.
Forgive me, Phil, for I have sinned. This is my 429,000th F-bomb.
This week.
Yes. Yes.
So John, all this is going to happen. New World Order. Is there I think, and I've said it in previous podcasts, I do feel people are waking up. I do feel there's a movement of people getting back, but it just seems that there's such a push, and it's so extreme now. It's amazing. I mean, where's our heroes? Where are our heroes? I mean, are they all scared? I mean, listen, say what you want about Donald Trump. Love him, hate him, yellow skin, funny hair, but I mean, it just seems to me him not being a politician. It just seems to me like he at least tried to get the job done.
Yeah.
And I dare anybody to come up with a policy that he implemented that hurt this country.
Yeah.
Name one in the comments below. One
Well,
that helped them,
I
hurt them.
I have to say this about
45.
45. I wonder what would have happened. I really mean this sincerely. What would have happened if he didn't act in a boorish way? Because the left seems to hate him. And I won't even say her name because I think she sucks, but it's a redheaded, bone skinny comedian wannabe who held up a severed Donald Trump head, right? We know who that jerk off is, right? I don't know. He was boorish. They caught him on film saying, grab her by the eep. Okay, right. But wasn't it the left that just drooled over and juiced over Slick Willie Clinton when he was having sex in the Oval Office while he's on the phone with a foreign leader? You know, I think really spiritual warfare brings out the best in people. And one of the things at the top of the list is pure, unadulterated hypocrisy. Is Donald Trump perfect? Absolutely not. Is he boorish? Yes. Is he comedic? He is. So is Barack Obama. Barack Obama had natural comedic timing. Donald Trump is also comedic, except, you know, if you hate somebody to the point where you want to hold up a facsimile of a severed head, no matter how funny he may be, you're not buying into it, so you're sitting there like this. Well, you can do all the you want. He was the closest thing this country had to staving off the New World Order, and therefore the New World Order knew this. They never expected him to win the election, and then they pulled all stops. They used their scumbag media to try to kill him, and then we had Miss Hillary funding the whole Russian collusion hoax. Oh my God. And she has the you-know-whats to stick her head up now. Really? To even consider a run in 2024? All I can say is, go ahead, I hope you do.
I mean, when I talk to people and then we have discussions about the country, what directions it's going in, I purposely do not say left, right, you know, Democrat, Republican.
It's impossible.
It's hard to do, impossible. But when somebody is so anti the last president, 45, and I get that, like you said, I mean, he makes fun of reporters if he doesn't get the right publicity. He's an imperfect person, and he makes people nervous because you can't control him. So in a way, that lack of people controlling him works for him, but it also works against him.
Right.
I get that. So inevitably, when we're debating with somebody about him at 45 and what he should have done, what he shouldn't have said, what he shouldn't have tweeted, and blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, come up with a policy. Tell me what he did to hurt this country, a law that he enacted. Come on, I'm waiting for you. Nobody has ever come back and said anything.
I think most of his detractors, certainly, you know, from the grassroots, from the public, they have no idea. They really don't. They just hate him. They hate his demeanor. Yeah. They fault him for being, I guess he's a multi-billionaire, and immediately they say, oh, he didn't pay his taxes. But Robert Kiyosaki will tell us billionaires don't pay taxes like we do, because they make their money off of debt, which, again, I don't understand that. If I understood it, I'd be a billionaire.
Well, I've got a lot of debt. Doesn't seem to be working for me. Yeah. But John, how about let's look at the current president. Okay,
Who's that?
Joe Biden. Okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
The big guy.
I have trouble.
The big guy.
I mean, let's just talk. Let's just go down the list. So I'm going to say a few things. You tell me what you think.
Hmm.
How is this administration? Let's put it
Mhm.
that way.
Yeah.
How are they doing with our southern border? Please answer me.
There is no southern border.
That's a great
That's
answer.
that's how they're doing.
I believe we're breaking records. People from they have it listed at 152 different countries they've stopped people coming through that border. 152 different countries.
Yeah, of course.
You know.
Yeah.
So and listen, immigration. We're all sons and daughters of immigrants.
Of course we are.
Right?
Of
We
course
all
we
are.
are.
But we're all sons and daughters, for the most part, of legal immigrants. Legal people that did the proper channels.
Yeah.
Okay. That came here and had a respect for the country, and knew that in order to stay here, they had to do certain things.
Yeah.
And there was a line, and it's not perfect, but it was an orderly line and an orderly system to come into this country.
Right.
Over 1 million people a year legally come through the legally come through the system. Over 1 million people a year. It was 1.4, I think, 2 years ago, and I haven't heard last year the total, but it's over 1 million people. It's safe to say. Now, how is that fair to them? It's not fair to the citizens who are already here, and it's not fair to those people either. That people are just cutting a line, dropping off. I mean, are we concerned with COVID?
Apparently not.
Apparently not. I don't know. Are they testing these people? Are they for other diseases? I know my mother came from Italy and had pink eye. And she was on Ellis Island and she was going to stay there. They wouldn't let her go any forward. And if it did not clear up, they were shipping her back. Thank God it cleared up in a day or two and they let her continue on her journey. I mean, so that's just one thing with this administration. The border. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
How about, let's talk about foreign affairs with this administration. I mean, we have Afghanistan.
Okay.
All right. We know how that went. Okay.
Yeah. Well, the thing about that just blows my mind is when Donald Trump on camera was discussing his conversation with, I think it was General Milley, and he was imitating Milley. He said, and Donald Trump said, "Is it true? General, is it true that we're leaving $83 billion worth of brand new military equipment there?" He says, "Why are we doing that?" And General Milley answered him, "Well, Mr. President, it seems like it's cheaper to leave it than to hold it all back." $83 billion, and Trump said, "Well, what do you say?" He says that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. The stupidest thing in the world I've ever heard. $83 billion worth. Oh, by the way, speaking of $83 billion in modern weaponry, let's just talk for a second about that jolly bunch of fellows called ISIS. The group that was cutting heads off and drowning people and burning them in fires and all of that jazz. Where did they come from? Did they really come from a ragtag group of jihadists that pillaged and stole weaponry? Where did they come from? John McCain had everything to do. So did Zbigniew Brzezinski with the inception of that. And there were 4 intelligence agencies that also had a hand in it. And they were funded and founded and weaponized. They were. Yeah. And so don't believe everything that's going on. There's a concept called false flag attack. That doesn't mean the attack didn't happen. It meant it was perpetrated by real people who are posing as other people to put across an agenda. So, I mean, my God, the world is so dark. The world, which makes me think, if I live to see the destruction and the dissolution of these people that are perpetrating the New World Order, the people that perpetrated the Wolfowitz agenda, which was to destroy 5 or 7 Islamic nations in the Middle East, destroy their cities, commit regime change, and to displace tens of millions of people because they no longer have a home. Those poor people. And where are they? They're displaced all over. It's like a modern day diaspora. They're all over the world, and they're all through Europe. And a lot of them are creating havoc. Oh God, now I'm going to hear it. How dare you? How dare you? No, I said those poor people. And our country had everything to do with their displacement and the destruction of their own countries. Why? Because the tagline is, sir, they were not in support of American interests. What the hell is an American interest? Oh, you mean the confessions of an economic hitman? Is that what we're talking about? Because you're not talking about mainstream grassroots Americans. We're some of the nicest, straightforward people in the world. Our agendas and our interests aren't to decimate a foreign country, murder its leader, and displace tens and tens and tens of millions of people. Whose interest is that in? Factions of our very own beloved government. Republicans and Democrats.
Well said. Let's talk about the rate of inflation that's going through the roof. Prior years, within the last 6 years, I mean, inflation was like at 1 or 2%. Okay, which is average, is normal, no big deal. I believe now we're at 7 to 8%.
Is that true?
I
don't have my finger on that trigger.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I believe I could be butchering the numbers a little bit here or there, but yeah, that's probably the difference. And that's why our products are so high. I mean, so this administration, I mean, you have to prove to me somehow that they have the United States' best interests at heart, and it just doesn't seem that way. I mean, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way, John. But I just can't figure it out.
Well, stepping back, and regarding all of these topics that we delve into here, there, and everywhere, and they come up organically. We don't have a roster of topics. We do on a boardwalk wheel just out of camera shot, and that'll be implemented at some point in the near future. But I mean, the whole thing is preposterous. The world is going to hell in a handbasket now. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer. I'm not trying to get you all dark and upset. No, we have to understand that we are in the throes of spiritual warfare. And I promise you, peeps, it's not a joke. This is spiritual warfare. I write about it in my book in the chapter called Montreal, the City of My Heart. The spiritual warfare has nothing to do per se with the city of Montreal, but one night late, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was walking through a deserted, very dark Montreal, and I passed by a crowded bar and grill, and the windows on the outside went from the roof gutters to the sidewalk, and people were just packed in, smoking in there, groping each other, drinking, dancing, doing all the things that people would do in a late night club. And I stopped to behold the sight, and then I just kept going, almost like I was floating through the city. And I walked down a steep hill, and I made a right, and I walked to a very, very old section that was reminiscent of old Montreal. So if you've ever been in Montreal, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Cobblestone streets from the 15 or 1600s. The buildings were all in the same motif, and it was just pitch black. And I came across this very narrow side street, cobblestone, and I looked up, and there was one storefront that had blinding white lights. The whole storefront was illuminated from the inside, not the outside. And there were 3 rows of suits of armor in the window. The first was copper or brass. The second row above it was silver. And the third row, all the way up on the top, illuminated by just amazing high intensity lights. The suits were solid gold. Now, these were metaphoric suits because, of course, you could never, ever, ever have a suit of gold. Gold is not very strong. You could dent it with your teeth and bend it, and it's heavy as hell. And same goes for silver. But I stood there and I was filled with the understanding that I was looking at God's suits of armor for the coming end time spiritual warfare, that I would be wearing one of those suits of armor. Would it be the first row, the second row, and the third row? And in my life, I can tell you that I didn't always get what I wanted, but if I put my sights on something, my whole life has been against all odds. I've done things that I had no business doing at all. And I knew that one day I'd be wearing one of those suits of gold from the top shelf. Here we are, folks. Here we are. I've expressed my spiritual nature. I've expressed my best ability to elevate humanity. Because I'm perfect? Hell no. I'm so far from perfect. I just apologize for F-bombing. But I'm going to do it again and again because it seems to be who I am.
Suits of armor.
Yeah, no, I just understand that we're in, not to sound too sappy and too cliche, but we're in end time spiritual warfare. That doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Armageddon's not coming. And I think I've touched upon this before. We're in the apocalypse, people. Now, apocalypse sounds scary. It's apocalyptic. People throw that around, right? And they kind of mix and match it with, war, nuclear war, Armageddon. No, that's the apocalypse is the ancient Greek word that really kind of just means to reveal, to cover what is covered, right? To elucidate what is hidden. So the apocalypse just means we are in the era where everything that has been hidden will now be revealed, and everything that is unseen will be seen. And you can find that in Matthew 10:26. As a matter of fact, it's my Facebook profile saying. It's Matthew 10:26. So this is what's going on right now. And the mainstream media is trying to hide the reveal. They're trying to hide from you the fact that we are in the era of the apocalypse. You are going to be witness to some of the most heinous accountings of some of the most heinous happenstances and crimes that anyone can even fathom. And it's coming. There's arrests coming. People will be dropping off. People will be leaving the earth plane. People that have to be taken off the earth plane. So I would say we touched upon a couple of things today.
So you would tell people to just put on your suit of armor and get out there and battle.
Right. So far, the great spiritual warfare is not a physical war. It's a spiritual war. It's an energetic war. And how it's being played out right now is it's an informational war. So when you want to say something that you feel as though stands up for the right side, God's side, the side of the Holy Spirit, you can bet your ass it's being censored. And if it's a book you want to write, they'll probably say, take this out, otherwise we won't publish it. If it's something you want to tweet, maybe Twitter will censor it. But maybe now that's not going to be true anymore now that the principal shareholder is Elon Musk. I don't know. I'm not sure about really where he lies with all of this. Sometimes he seems to flip flop back and forth. Anyway,
Well, that's it, John. Let's
yeah,
wrap it up for
yeah,
today.
we're gonna wrap it up, and once again, um, do a little homework. Pull up a video or get yourself a book on meditation. And in an up and coming episode, we'll let you know when, I'll take you through a little guided meditation, because guided meditation is what brings you as close as you can get energetically and spiritually to the Holy Spirit and to the deities that you know and love. They are still around, they're just not in the flesh. And it doesn't matter what your religion is, and it doesn't even matter if you're an atheist. If you just understand that there's a greater power than you and the government and CNN or Fox, then you're halfway there. See you soon, friends. See you next time on The Jersey Alchemist. God bless.
Get that pseudo armor, people. Thank you, John. If you like what we're doing, please press below the like button and the subscribe button as well. Thank you. Peace.
56.